It's welcome to the Vanishing Nomad channel. I'm John, but you probably know that, otherwise you wouldn't be here. So anyway, I'm out on the trail again. I'm gonna probably spend a few nights out here. Maybe, I don't know, have decent weather for like the next 8 days. Maybe I just won't come home. I don't know. Um, I have my full system with me. I can stay out here for weeks if I want to. Um, well, if things from back home weren't calling me, I got responsibilities I got to go take care of, so I can't stay out here for weeks. But I'll probably be out here for a couple days at least. I don't really have a plan or anything. I have a loose idea of what I want to do. Um, the trails around here are all kind of ziggy zaggy, right? So I can probably put a lot of miles down without ever really going that far from my truck. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. You know, play it by ear. Maybe I'll hike up to Mushroom Rock and back. I don't know. There's a couple campsites that I've sort of scouted out in the past. I'll probably stay at one or two of those, and we'll just go from there. We'll see what happens today, and the next day, and the day after that.
My head's about to bust from all the smoke. Oh, my back's about to break. I took all I could take, not anymore.
So I'm at my first major crossroads here, and last time I went that way, and I got totally lost, turned around. I don't know what. I think I ended up on a spur trail that went in between the trail that I was on and the creek, rather than staying on the trail I was on. So we're gonna go that way today, I think, and figure out where I went wrong last time. Time to get the map out. Alrighty, so I've got my compass here. Everything is lined up to north, so let's see what we got. So my truck is parked somewhere right over here, and I followed a trail that's not on the map to here, and now I'm right here where that red dot is. So there should be water right here. I can cross that creek. This is the trail I got lost on last time. So it's supposed to go all the way around and back up to this trail. But what ended up happening is I somehow got off of it and followed a smaller trail that follows one of these elevation lines until I came back over to here, and then I popped out somewhere right over here where that Cumberland Trail backpacker shelter is. So I don't know what I want to do here. I think I'm going to go down to the creek and scout this side real quick for a possible campsite for later, and then I'm going to come back and try and figure out where I fucked up on that line.
In the dark night, I hold my pillow tight. Dream of a better place, of a better life.
Well, here it is. This is where let me back up a little. This is where I went wrong last time. That's my trail I have to be on. This is where I veered off. Now, looking at it, because this one here is a large trail, and that's a large trail, and I only have one large trail on the map, I just assume the trail split and is going around this piece of woods over here. So my guess is this one turns into a different trail, and that one is the one I'm supposed to be on. So this time I'm going this way. looks like it's time for a map check, because I have this, and it goes up the fuck there, right? And then I have that one, which kind of curves around off this way. So, two things I'm looking for when I look at the map is the compass direction that each trail is heading off to, and the elevation changes. So, like if I see the one trail is climbing in elevation a lot, it's probably that one. All right, so let me get all my gear off and get the map out. All right, so we're oriented north. This is where we were last time. And then there's the fork. I think the fork is right here. And that's what took me down this elevation line rather than being up here. So I think now, see these little depressions? Those are some of those dry runoffs I passed. If I go to the next junction here, you have this, right? Which seems to be going in the correct direction. But then you have this, but it's not climbing in elevation in any kind of steep amount until you get to here. And even that, it's really not. It's kind of following the lines, and then it drops really. So I think we're somewhere over here. I think we're right there. And this climbs up. See this little point on this trail here? I bet you this connects those two. If you see this little point here, this little nubby point, if this extended out and the trail went up over that and back down the other side, I would be pretty confident that I'm here. But it doesn't do that. It doesn't really change elevation at all. It just kind of follows the same line. At best, it goes up a tiny little bit. But this, look at how hard this climb is. It goes way up there. I bet you that's 40, 60 feet. So there's no way that this trail can be the same one. This has to be an offshoot that goes up over that peak. So I'm not as far down the trail as I need to be yet. I need to keep going down that one. Make sure that that goes in my direction. Now, if I'm wrong, okay, where will this go? Let me sit back down here. If I'm wrong, it's going to take me down towards this, towards the creek. In which case, I'll just probably find a place near there to camp. Alright, some stupid advertisement just popped up on my phone that I own, by the way. God, that pisses me off. But anyway, so if that trail obviously goes towards the direction of the creek. So worst comes to worst, I'll end up closer to the creek, which is a potential water source, and I may look to camp somewhere in this area if I end up. This little trail here sucks. It is very, very difficult on the ankles. It's all rocks and stuff. So I want to avoid this little trail down here. But if I get stuck on it, I get stuck on it. Another fucking advertisement. God. Anyway, like I said, if I get stuck on it, I get stuck on it. And then I would come back up this way. And I really want... See this little runoff creek here? Because it's blue on the map, I'm pretty sure it's running today. I want to camp somewhere over here. It's nice and hidden and secluded. And... it's off these trails. Like if I could get in here and maybe go upstream just a little bit or downstream a little bit, just enough to where I can come off the water. I don't want to camp right on the water, but that's kind of what I'm thinking about doing right now. For today. And then, of course, I still have no plans for tomorrow. But right now, the plan is to kind of wander around aimlessly and either end up down here or end up over here somewhere.
In the dark night, I hold my pillow tight. Dream of a better place, of a better life.
Yeah, so I'm just like sitting here relaxing against the tree, and I just don't want to get up and start hiking again, I guess. I don't know. It's just so cool and nice and peaceful here, But the truth of the matter is I really need to get to that next water source so I have water in the morning, I've got, I'm down to my last, I've got like a half a quart there, and then I got another quart in my pack, so I'm good for the rest of the day. It's tomorrow that I'm worried about. So I think the smart thing to do would be to just keep pushing until I get to my next water source. Because if it's dry, then I need to head back this way and go to that larger creek that I know isn't dry. Whew. All right, so I finally found the water, and it is a trickle. There's not a lot here. I'm glad I came this way, but so the first thing I did is I dropped my pack. I filtered. I scooped up a bunch of water with my dog bowl, and I filtered it into my clean canteen, my two quart clean canteen. I still had a quart left over though, so that's good. So now I have 3 quarts of traveling water for tomorrow, and then I refilled the filter, and now I'm rehydrating for camp tonight and for before I take off tomorrow. So let's take a look at that little trickle of water that I have. All right, so that other campsite is up there. It's a much better campsite, but here I have some running water. I'm tired and I'm exhausted. I don't know if I'm going to have a fire tonight. Traditionally, I don't make fires on the first night. I generally don't make fires until like the next morning, or until I hit that 3rd day, and then I take day 4 as a 0 day, and all I do is sit around camp and carve wood and practice bushcraft skills and all that kind of stuff. So over here, I just set my filter station up over here. This is not where I'm going to camp yet, but I wanted to make sure that I had all the hydration taken care of, because if that little creek runs dry by morning, I want to have it now. So, if you've seen my Garden of the Gods video, you're familiar with the setup. Right now I have the 48-ounce nesting cup for the Dave Canterbury 2-quart bottle. Unfortunately, it doesn't nest with the clean canteen, but it does nest nicely with my little Vargo bot down here. So, the next step is to get up in there somewhere and figure out where I'm going to camp for the night and go from there. Alright, so I gotta clear camp now. That's my next mission. Just tie this up so it don't go anywhere. So I'm gonna set my hammock up between these two trees here, so I gotta get a few things out of my way to do that. And this guy here is right in the center. Okay. And maybe this. Alright, cleared some weeds out. Doesn't really matter how you do it, but I always put my stuff over here. 1,250-pound test paracord. Looks like the door is over there. Okay, just pop these guys together right here like that. Oop. Oops. There we go. Make sure everything's nice and straight. Drop that over there. Same on the other side. I usually hang it about head height. Go. I'll stretch out to the other side. I like to hang it so the foot side is always just a tad lower than the head side. Okay, so the next thing to do is sit in it and let it stretch out before you do your final adjustment. All right, so that's just a tad high. I'm going to drop it just a little bit on the foot side. All right, let's try this again. Oh yeah, that's much more better. I like to set my hammocks so that when I'm sitting in them, I can sit in them. You know, say I don't like having to get too high off the ground, but I want to make sure there's space underneath here, especially in summertime, so the air can flow and keep me cool. And of course, in the winter, we can always set it up on the ground. Next step, let's get the rain fly and the bug net up. So we've got our poles here. These are stupid simple to set up. Two sets, they just lock in place. Just like that. And then you just slide them on through. It's got a little hook thing over here it pops into. So I just pop it in there. And here we go. Look at that. Nice and easy. You have the elastic here, right? Got the elastic. The elastic just goes up here to keep the tension. On this one, it had a heavier duty elastic on it. I went with the old school version off my old Lawson tent because it just the lighter version works better, I think, than the heavier. The heavier is just too heavy. All right, hopefully you can see this on the other side here. I really wish I had another camera angle for this. I didn't have all these things in the way. And up it goes. So your Lawson camping hammock basically goes together and gotta get this thing out of my way. Goes together in a few easy steps. So you set the hammock up first, then you just stuff the poles in there for the netting, And then the last is the rainfly. I like to take the S-hook, lock that in place on one side first, and then I'll pull it over. Lock it on the other side. Then I just use these hooks, tie it to the guy lines. These just sort of connect underneath here. You know, the whole thing is very easy. It's a stupid simple design, but it's so functional, you know. Got a Velcro thing on this side for like if it's in heavy weather. I almost never use that though. And there you go, we're pretty much set. If you go watch some of my other Lawson hammock videos, you'll notice that it sets up on the ground just as easily as it does in the trees. You just set it up just like this, and instead of tying it between two trees, you tie it between two tent poles, and you're done. So there it is. It is the a real quick how-to video, and hopefully this comes out good enough, and I'll be able to upload it. If not, I'll just reshoot it.
Well, according to my phone, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. That means I slept like 16 hours last night. Man, that has got to be the best night's sleep I've had in a long time. Haha.
Okay. Let's come over here real quick. Now, what I do is I have this mesh bag right here. It fits kind of like in the shelf part of my hammock bed. See it? I put my shoes in here, and that keeps any kind of creepy crawlies and things from getting in there at night while I'm sleeping. So that's one of the features I like about this hammock that I haven't seen in other ones, because most other ones don't have the spreader bars. You know, without the spreader bar, it doesn't create this nice little platform that you could strap stuff to.
Oh, my father's in the ground. Doesn't make a sound, he is gone.
So I've been out on the trail for a couple of days now, and I think it's time for me to head in. I'm actually not too far from my truck, but I was gonna film more stuff around camp and the campfire and all that good stuff, but man, it was just so peaceful and so nice sitting there enjoying it. I just didn't feel like filming, so I didn't, you know. But I'll be back out here. I'll do more of these trips, and maybe the next one will even be longer. But I did have an issue with water. One of my water sources was almost completely dry, and then the other one was completely dry. So I ended up, instead of going way out and then circling around, I just kind of came up and then backtracked so that I was at least staying in between the water sources. But anyway, that's the trip for today, or this week, and get out there.
My baby's crying loud.